What is good, Team JVS? We're back with another review. We're here with Dead City Season 2, the finale. And there's a lot to talk about with this episode, a lot to be excited for. I feel like I've mentioned this in the past where Season 2 has been interesting, and I want to say at times a little anticlimactic, but there's still been some really great moments, and it's still, I've been content. I've been fine. I've been happy. I've been content. So, going into the finale, I really was hoping that we'd get like a big bang and maybe get something to set up season three, and I feel like that's what they did, and that's why I think it was a pretty solid finale. I don't know if you want to rate season one's finale compared to this one, or what do you think was better, season one or season two? Me personally, I'm just really excited to just talk about this episode because again, although there were some moments that were all right, there were still some moments that were just very, very cool. And to start off, of course, right off the rip with Maggie being locked up in the skyscraper with the Dama. And I'm over here thinking maybe the Dama was just kind of like a hallucination in the last episode or it just wasn't real. Because I'm over here like just trying to explain to myself how she could be alive. And of course, they just said, oh, yeah, I took one of the dead. And I was just like, bro, like, this is crazy. She should not be alive. She's just been a pain in the ass. And it's like, I don't know, man. And then diving into her, of course, Maggie being locked up and trying to find her way out, and then Dom being like, "Oh, if you don't drop the key, I'll not only punish you but your kid." And it's just like it's just crazy. But leading into Bruegel going after Negan and to see how they were gonna handle that, kind of like a Trojan horse type situation. I mean, for him to go for the marshal to even go after him, and of course Bruegel ended up getting away from the marshal, but it led to, of course, Bruegel gifting Negan the statue and all that, and I was really curious to see how that was gonna play out. I was really I honestly didn't think too much about what was in the statue. I was just like, okay, how are they gonna handle this? This guy, of course, has a lot of artifacts, so it makes sense for him to give a gift. Keep up appearances, and of course Negan, of course, bringing in that old vibe. Talking about how, hey, what was it? What was it? He was like, just the monologues that we were getting from him, talking about, hey, like we made a big feast. Why don't you enjoy it with us? And him, being worried about the poison and all that. But there was just so much. It was really fun. This was really fun, and it leading to, of course, the marshal noticing the gasoline, and then of course them pulling out the flamethrowers, flipping the table, and just oh man, that was a really cool fight sequence. Like them flipping over the table and seeing the flamethrowers light up the entire room, and then seeing all the walkers come out from under the table. Super super cool little touch there, and of course it led to really cool moment. But realistically, man, I was really impressed with the ending. With it leading to, of course, Bruegel, the showdown between Bruegel and Negan, and then Negan getting Bruegel to go on his knees, and for us to get a kind of a reminder of why we hate Negan. And again, I'm not saying that that's what we felt here. I don't hate Negan. I'm just saying that exact sequence was just bar for bar from what happened with Glenn and Abraham, and to see the way that he even kind of recycled his like little pig, not little pig, but the eeny meeny miny mo, and it was like, dude, like this is good, and you can see when he kind of clicks and realizes, bro, like I gotta go back to my old self, and that's exactly what he did. And it was like, dude, like this is a lot, and for the marshal to be in the position where he's experiencing what Maggie felt and Maggie's hatred, and it was just really interesting to see kind of the way he was like terrified in that moment, and of course he ran away. It looked super easy for him, but still it was just the way the actor in that sequence, I forgot his name, but the way he portrayed that moment, the way he was just so fearful, like he just looked terrified, and it was such a well done sequence. And when you see Maggie turn the corner and hear him, you could hear him like being theatrical and repeating or just like embracing the entire like situation. You could tell she was reliving things. And as soon as Bruegel, I thought he was gonna take him out the way he took out Glenn, but no, he went even crazier. Like we thought everything was nuts with the whole bat situation, but for him to fill him up with methane and then to light him up and to see his face just expand like that was absolutely disgusting. But so much props to the makeup department. They absolutely killed that. That scene was insane. And then of course once he's dead, he finishes it up ground beef style, takes the bat and boom, boom, boom. And it was just insane to see this again because we have not seen this. Like the last time I was like really this hyped. Like we got moments earlier in the season, don't get me wrong, but like last season where we see him like with that other group and he straight up grabs the guy and then says, "Hey, like the weather forecast, it's raining," and then he cuts him and it's like, bro, like that's like theater Negan right there. And we see the same situation kind of here with the way like he was just like giving that speech and the way he was bashing in his head and just the way Maggie was just like, oh my goodness, like she was flabbergasted, and it leading to it making things easier for her when it came down to taking him out. And of course she took out those three dudes in a super super clean style. Don't get me wrong, the way she just double took him out was, I was like, oh my goodness. But the marshal almost got taken out and was saved of course by Maggie, and that's when she stabbed him in the back. And I'm like, what are we doing here? Like, how is this actually going to end? And then ultimately, of course, um, we almost saw her finish Negan, and I thought this was gonna be like a repetitive situation where it was just gonna be like, okay, this bullshit's gonna end with her deciding not to kill him. Like it's gonna be the same shit that we've seen over and over and over again with the show, and I just the repetition was something that I didn't want to repeat, so I was a little nervous to see how they were gonna end up handling that, but ultimately I was like, okay, Ginny is probably gonna have to step in. She's gonna be the one to stop it. And technically, I was right. Don't get me wrong, but not in the way I wanted to be. As soon as her arm kind of stuck out of that cell, and we just see how like how like messed up she was and how just dead she was, kind of like shut me up immediately. And straight up, I is the only reason Negan is alive, because Maggie, of course, the love she had for Ginny, and then she knows the love that Negan had for her, was just that was just a heavy scene. Like anytime they kill off a child in the show, it's usually brutal, but like just the emotional impact that it also carried with this scene specifically too, because Ginny's been a major character in this show, and with her and Herschel kind of like growing up in the show together, it's been really interesting to see them both. But of course, it leading to her them both being pain in the asses. Don't get me wrong; they both had their moments where they've been pissing me off, and but Ginny has had less moments, and I just have so much hope for her character. Her being kind of like the next Negan, and her Negan Maggie like being combined, like a leader like that, and it's like Herschel has just been pissing me off left and right. So I was like, Ginny, my hope is with her, and so for them to kill her off, I'm not gonna lie, it caught me off guard, really did, and I'm a little upset by it, but what are you gonna do? But just the way Negan was like crying in the whole situation and just screaming out about it, and ultimately it saved his life. But it was such a dark scene, and it was just nuts, and I truly believe like again I think Maggie was more than willing. I think she would have killed him if things like that didn't if that didn't end up happening. But of course they needed something to throw it off because there was no way they were gonna kill him off. But it was just such a well handled scene, and it leading to of course the end of the episode with New Babylon, and of course Maggie going back to see Dama and Herschel, and for Herschel to just throw another hissy fit, and it's just like, bro, like this is just getting so annoying, and I'm just really excited to see how they end up handling it in the next season. Herschel, just they need to figure out what they're doing with him, because this whole routine that they're doing with him is just like, it was cool to see the whole little twist with him being bad, but like it's frustrating, and like I mean I really want to see bits of Glenn in him, and it's like I'm not seeing that at all. Like I'm just seeing. I understand he's an angry kid. I get that, but it's like, bro, like this is just it's pissing me off. But again, I think this is a really good episode. Solid ending, really, and I'm so looking forward to more. Um, Benjamin, I know some of you might be salty. I do not blame the kid. The kid has no fighting, like technique, nothing. Like the dude is just saving himself, and I understand. So for him to just immediately be like, "Oh, I'm with New Babylon," it's like, yeah, you know what? I don't blame you. It's not like he like was a snake and was like telling them where to go to take out Negan's group. Like he just ultimately was in a position where he knew he wasn't going to get out of. He didn't give him any information. He just said flat out, "I'm here with them." So I'm not mad at him. I get it. And New Babylon, I'm hoping that if we do end up getting them again in the next season, they wrap up what they got to wrap up. Because I don't want to get another. I don't want to stretch this more than we have to. But ultimately, I'm content with the season. By no means was it like fantastic, but it was fun, and that's kind of what I expect with these Walking Dead shows now. I just want to feel like I'm having a good time with my time, and that's what we're doing. So thank you guys. I appreciate y'all. We're gonna be dropping a lot more reviews in the future, not only for the Dead City show, but for other spin-offs like we did with Daryl Dixon and The Ones Who Live. We'll be doing more. There's a lot of other shows coming out in the next few months, so keep an eye out if you're a fan of Dead City. I'm sure you're going to find something else that we cover that you are a fan of. If it's not me reviewing, we have a whole team of people that review things that you might be interested in. So feel free to just check out the content and see what you like. But for now, just again, thank you guys, and we got stuff coming out. Reactions have been a little slow, but if you're interested in checking out reactions for like Dead City, go check out my channel. Busy Braun should be in the description. But again, I appreciate you guys, and I look forward to talking to you guys. Stay safe. Peace out.